Hello and welcome to Talk a Good Game halftime live. It's Southampton 1, West Ham United nil over at the St Mary's. I'm Gio from Hammers Chat. I've got Charlie and Ryan with me as well. We're going to be talking about the first 45 minutes. Charlie, what did you make of the starting lineup? It looked like at the start that Moses was playing up front and Enner Valencia was out left until they scored. Strange decision from Bilic.
Uh, yeah, it didn't even look like a 4-2-3-1 to me. It looked more like I don't even know what you'd call it, a 3-4-1-2. It looked like Antonio was sitting so deep to me that he was almost a right wing back, and Moses and Enner Valencia were playing up front and were moving left and right a bit like himself and Sacco did in the first half of last season. It's weird and it's been a bit ineffectual and odd, and I don't particularly understand why he's done it. But yeah, I don't get it at all, to be honest.
Right, did you have much? I thought we were going to struggle tonight. I seen the starting lineup and I thought, oh, we might get something from here. I was quite optimistic when I seen starting 11. Were you the same, Ryan?
Yeah, sort of, because I thought Payet was going into the middle, so I was like, oh, look, we got what we wished for. I'm never confident if I ever see Moses in the team, because I automatically think, oh, he's just going to have a bad game. And as going with what Charlie said, I can't work out what our game plan is or what our formation is. I'm puzzled.
Yeah, it's a strange one anyway. We'll talk about Payet in a wee second. Adrian was called into action pretty early from Cedric with... Well, Alex Song lost it again. He's been playing quite well recently, but he lost it. Long swung the ball in. Good header, good save by Adrian, but it wasn't long until it was 1-0 Yoshida. Now, let's talk about that game, that goal, Charlie. Quick pass and play by Southampton. Do you think... I don't want to criticise him too much, because I think Enner Valencia gets a hard time from a slot. However... It's hard not to for their first goal. Charlie, do you think he could have cleared that?
You could tell he's a striker because he just sort of ran in a straight line there with no real defensive positioning at all. He could have cleared it, but then again, any one of the players who were near the quick passing move that Southampton did also could have cleared it. So I don't want to blame him solely, but he certainly almost made the assist for Yoshida. Because it was his last touch, wasn't it?
Yeah, but Charlie, the other players, if you like, got the ball knocked around them, and I think you have to give credit to Southampton for their quick movement there. However, Enner Valencia had that split second where he could have belted it into Rosette behind the goal, but instead, for whatever reason, he's toe poked it. And then
it's exactly what you just said. It was a split second, and he's not a defender, so he clearly panicked a little bit and sort of hesitated to kick it in case it went into the net, and it's ended up being about the worst thing he possibly could have done. He put it anywhere else, it would have been a bit better. So yeah, he could have, but like you said, I mean, I don't want to criticise him too much, given that he's a striker and that's not his natural thing to do. But
Ryan, what was your thinking for the goal, Ryan? Could we have done more? I mean, it was good play by Southampton. I think the warning bells were there. Do you think the goal was coming, Ryan?
Sort of. I mean, I don't think we've started as bad as some people on Twitter were making out. The one thing I'm wondering is why is Valencia in our box instead of Southampton's box? Because if he's going to be the striker, because as that quick passing movement is going on, the chance he has to clear it away, he puts Reid off, because Reid stops, thinking, oh, Valencia's got me covered, and then he just leaves it, and then that's how they score the goal. So,
to be fair to Valencia, what I will do is defend the fact that Valencia was back defending their lines, because as we just talked about, until Southampton scored, it looked like Valencia was playing left wing and Moses was the one that was up front. So I think he was maybe doing his defensive side. So I'm not too fussed, but we're going to keep talking about Valencia at the other end of the pitch. Sky, I assume everyone's watching on Sky, only touched upon it briefly a wee bit. They're going in and out of it. However, I think this is a massive talking point. Charlie, penalty or not, Yoshida, in my opinion, stood on the back of his heel. Anywhere else on the pitch, in my view, that's a free kick. Now, unfortunately for me, Antonio went and stood on Shane Long and nothing happened, so I kind of put my theory out the window. But watching it, I thought that was a penalty. At the time, I thought Valencia had get up, and I think the fans behind the goal did, because there wasn't much shout from anybody except in Valencia. But watching the replay, watching it slow down, it looks like a pen. Charlie, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it was a penalty. He's definitely clipped at least, and I think what doesn't help him is he goes down in stages a little bit. He sort of gets clipped and then he tries to put his foot down and his foot goes backwards, then he falls down in this sort of classic arms flailing up in the air kind of way. You could tell that they weren't 100% certain because the referee left it up to the linesman, and then the linesman took a second to think about it and then gave it as a goal kick. And I think if he hadn't have gone down so... I don't know how you describe. yeah, if he hadn't have gone down so dramatically, then I think it would have been a definite penalty. But he is clipped. You're right about that, 100%.
Ryan, was that pen in your view, or do you think it would have been harsh on Southampton, considering it was very little contact? Let's be fair. It was the contact was minimal. Whether it's enough to make someone fall over, I don't know. But was that a penalty in your eyes, Ryan?
First impressions, no. I was exactly like what you said. As soon as I saw him go down, I shouted, "Get up!" And the referees only get a one-time view of it, so we're all saying no, it wasn't a penalty first time viewing, and we've got the benefit of the replay. But as what's been mentioned, he just went down too easy, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, I don't think we're criticising the referee, though. I don't think any of us are saying the ref's got it wrong. I think we're just saying it should be a pen. But like you said, we do have technology on our side. Even watching the technology, you can still be undecided a wee bit. Then we came close. Winston Reid with a header. Fantastic save by Fraser Foster. He's in unreal form since coming back from injury. Free kick by Payet. Now let's talk about Dimitri Payet, because that's the only time I've seen him on the pitch, to be honest with you. Charlie, what's going on? We all say we want Payet central, we need Payet central. Bilic puts Payet central. First 45 minutes, we've not really seen him, have we? What's happening?
Like I said about the formation thing, I just can't figure out what's going on with the formation. It's confusing and bizarre. I think Payet, when he is in a traditional 4-2-3-1, I think he has a lot of support around him, which means that there's less pressure on him, especially when you have someone like Lanzini, who's just as skillful as he is next to him. The defenders don't know who to concentrate on. But with this formation, there's so many people behind him that, again, and it's the exact same problem he has when he's out wide in the 4-3-3 we've been playing. There's not enough people around him to take the pressure off him. And so he just can't do anything. And he has had some notable chances where he's been a bit poor, clipped it too far over someone. There was a cross early on where he did it. There was another one slightly later on. So he's clearly not completely on point yet today, but the formation certainly isn't helping him at all.
Ryan, would you say we are our own worst enemy? You've said we haven't started as bad as some people made on, but we've started slow for a lot of games now. Apart from Man City, we've started slow for a lot of games now in a row. Do you think we're our own worst enemy and we bring trouble to our own doorstep?
Pretty much. I think what we keep doing is using the first 15 minutes to find out what the other team's going to do.
Yeah.
And then especially like with what's going on now with Payet, is whenever we go forward, there's no one in the box. There's like one West Ham player in the box, but there's another 3 defenders. So
yeah, well, my personal view is I think Moses, he started to do it. To be fair, I'm not Moses' biggest fan, but he's actually doing okay tonight, in my opinion. I think Antonio needs to get off the touchline and start coming looking for the ball from Noble and so on. I just don't think the link between Payet, Antonio, Moses and Valencia to Noble and Song is there. There's no passing, there's no channel into the feet of the attackers. And that's why Noble went long to Valencia and we almost got the penalty of it. However, let's talk about our opponent, Southampton. I have been very impressed by them. They're set up with their 3-5-2 formation, which is a bit different these days. Ryan, is the fact that they're so versatile going forward causing us massive issues?
Yeah, because they're exploiting confusion in positioning and formation so well. I mean, we're lucky again to only be 1-0 down. And I think we're playing right into their hands.
Charlie, do you agree we're playing into their hands? I think you need to give a bit of credit to Southampton here. I think they can run at you. Mane's shown that. They can go high at you. And Shane Long has got the better of James Collins in the air. And there's a massive height difference. So credit to Shane Long for that. And I think Pella is brilliant in the air as well. And they can also play the little tippy-tappy football, as our goal showed. But again, they can also go behind, as we've seen Shane Long cutting out wide and going in behind the centre-backs. I think they can go any route going forward. I think it's caused us massive problems. Charlie, what's your opinion on Southampton?
I sort of agree with both of you in that sense. I think you do have to give them a lot of credit. They are a very good side. They're a very well-drilled side. They've got a lot of very good players in the team, and they have a lot of options going forward, and it helps them. We don't know exactly how they're going to play, but I do think I agree with Ryan in a way that we have played into their hands in the way that, like I said, with the formation going forward, and it's something you picked up on the preview with Mark Noble, you have to have, in front of the 2 defensive midfielders we have today, you have to have options in front of them to pass. And no one are giving them options consistently enough. And it's been like that the entire season. We've seen it. We've said it over and over again. That has to change, because without that, Southampton, with their very quick forwards like Mane and Shane Long, can just press us and then the defensive midfielders have no options. Song loses the ball, Noble uses the ball, and then they're on a counter attack again. And it's something we have to sort out.
Well, Charlie says we need to sort it out. We need to change it. You two get think about what you would change your ability, because that question's coming to you in a second. However, while you're here, hit the subscribe button. We'll be back later on with a review of the overall game. Also, if you fancy winning 2 tickets to the FA Cup game between West Ham United and Liverpool on Tuesday night, do go on to cladandhugh.info, as he's got 4 tickets to give away. To be nice to you, I have pinned it to our Twitter, so if you go onto our Twitter, @hammers_chat, I've pinned the tweet to the top of the profile there, so you can get a link to Clad and Hugh very easily. You've got to be in it to win it. Now, Ryan, if you can make one, what would you do with your ability at half-time? It's not quite working. However, I don't think it's been disastrous. There's 1 goal in it, which is exactly the same as it was at Upton Park, and we turned around in 1-2-1. We've got Big Andy on the bench. We've got Emenike. We've got options. What would you do, Ryan?
I'd take Song off because he's given the ball away in too many dangerous areas, about 3 or 4 times to my collection. Apart from that, I really don't know. I think it's more Bilic needs to give him a kick up the backside and tell him to start performing, wake up a little bit.
So who are you taking on for Song? Obiang or Oxford straight swap? Or
Obiang, because when he plays, he can make us tick and we can make the passing look more quicker, etc., etc.
Charlie, what changes would you like to see?
Personally, I don't think we need a personnel change. I think we need a clear formation going forward. I think just change to a traditional 4-2-3-1, have Antonio on the wide right, have Payet in the centre, Moses on the left, and Valencia up front, give Song and Noble passes to go to, have people running in behind, just have movement up front. And I think we don't really need a personnel change as such just yet, just a change in the formation at the front end.
The one I would like to see has been warming up in the first half, because it looked like Reed was carrying a bit of a knock. Sam Byram, I think he would change the game up. We could get a bit of width going down the right. Creswell's bombing forward, but there's Tompkins. I love Tompkins, but I love him as a centre back, not a right back. He's comfortable, he's solid, but when you're a goal down, he's not what you need at right back. I would like to see Byram come on. I know he's not 100% fit, but it gives us options going down the right. And of course, we've got Big Andy, who will cause trouble for any team at the back. Anyway, we'll be back with the review later on tonight. Thank you very much for joining us. If you want to read the match report or live commentary, go on to cladandhugh.info, or if you want to chat with fellow Hammers, come on to our forum at hammerschat.boards.net, and it's 100% free to join. Charlie, Brian, Gio, thank you for joining us.